Welcome to day 9 of the Daily Doodle December Challenge. Before we begin today's doodle, let's take 3 grounding breaths together. So I like to close my eyes for this and place one hand on the heart, one on the belly. But you can leave your eyes open if that feels better, or hands in the lap. Turning your attention inward, taking a deep breath in through the nose, and releasing it out the mouth with a sigh. And again, inhaling through the nose. Exhaling, big sigh through the mouth. Releasing any tension in the body with the out breath. And one last time, inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the mouth. Releasing any busy or worrying thoughts. Setting them aside for right now so that you can be fully present right here, right now for this relaxing doodle. So today, as with every day, we're doing a simple repeating pattern. So a little sort of teardrop shape starting from the corner, and then a slightly bigger one and a slightly bigger one. And then working from either, the little corner here or here, we do it again. Little teardrop, slightly bigger, slightly bigger. And we're not going to worry about if the teardrops are all the same shape or the same size. We'll just keep finding a little corner and repeating and repeating. And in no particular order. Filling the page happens somewhat randomly. If we kind of go off the page, that's okay. Not off the page, out of the square. I'm sort of morphing the shape to keep it on the inside, but you could also just have sort of a half line that ends at the edge. I feel like these shapes, once they're colored in, often remind me of peacock feathers. So that was an example where I let it go off the, not the page, out of the square. So here I'm making a decision. I'll just do it here. And it may tuck in behind another one. That's okay. You'll see when I share the 2 other samples that I've done how the pattern is the same on each, but also not the same. Like there's variation. I am working again with a 1.0 millimeter black pen. You could do this with a finer pen if you like, but I will be coloring in a bit with black today. So the thick pen makes that a bit easier. And if you've been following along every day, you'll have heard me say this before, but I do try my best to keep my pen moving because I'm practicing releasing perfectionism. I'm practicing just playing with abandon and trying to release my normal pattern of overthinking things. So this was an example where I've run out of space. I don't want to crowd the number anymore, so I've only done 2 of the teardrops rather than 3. I think I'll do it here as well. Do like a 1. Well, here I'll do 3, but going off the page. All right, so that's quite full. I'll stop there now, and I'll go back in and fill in between these shapes with the black pen. So I'm checking in with my body. I noticed that a bit of tension had crept into my shoulders and face, so I've just softened and relaxed there. All right, I don't see any more spaces. If I spot any later, I can always get my black pen back out. But that is it for the black pen today. So if that's all you're doing is black pen drawings, then you would be finished. I mean, you could go in and color, but then I think you would, like with more black, but then I think you would lose the shape. What I would do if I was going to do this any further with black is maybe do little tiny lines in the middle teardrop shape, kind of like these little hatch lines in this over here from yesterday. I might do that here if I was going to stick with black. But today I am going to color with Jelly Roll pens in different shades of warm metallics. So I think I will do the gold for the outer ring. I didn't pre-think that, so we'll see how this pattern works out. I did pre-select my 3 shades, but I hadn't thought about what order I was going to do them in. Again, it comes back to that I'm trying to not overthink things. I'm a work in progress. I do find it quite enjoyable to color with these gel pens. They give a very vibrant glow. I wonder, now that we're 9 days into the challenge, for those of you that have been following along, does it feel like a habit is starting to form where you long to sit and doodle a little bit every day? I write articles for a women's brain health magazine, and one of the articles I wrote was about the science of developing new habits. And I was very surprised to learn that even though it's commonly quoted that it takes, I think it's 3 weeks is the common myth to form a habit. Research actually shows that it can take a widely varying amount depending on the personality of the person, as well as the type of habit that you're trying to cultivate. So certainly 9 days is not very much to establish a habit. But the seeds might be there. So I've switched colors to sort of a beautiful, I don't know, it's coppery or bronze shade. Very pretty. So when we doodle, it provides an opportunity to get into flow if we do it in a way that has like patterns and repeating and not a lot of decisions. And then when we're in flow, it can help to quiet our busy minds and just give us a break. A lot of times people have sort of a relentless narration going on in their head about what's happening, maybe even a harsh voice that's criticizing or judging. It's my hope for you that in this doodling that you do with me, that you quiet that voice. Say, no, thank you. I don't need any of your judgy opinions. We can practice quieting that inner critic. Because we are wonderful exactly as we are. And then finally, I'm going to take what I think is going to be the darkest of the three, but we shall see. It's kind of a sparkly brown. It's not necessarily darker, but it is a different shade than the other two. Now I can see that my office paper, which isn't necessarily intended for art making, is starting to get wrinkly and well loved from 9 days of doodling so far. And I'm noticing today this particular square, because the gel pens must have a fair bit of moisture in them, this is getting a little puckery. But I'm totally okay with that. Because my aim in creating this calendar is not to make a work of art that I'll hang on my wall, but just to have some fun and relax and play. So that is it for today's doodle demo. That means that it's time to color in my tracking star for the day, which I always find exciting. It doesn't seem to be getting old. We'll see as the month continues, but I hope it remains this exciting every day. And now I'll show you my 2 other examples that I created, just to give you some inspiration for other ideas. So here is the one that I did that's the green and gold example. And then here's the one on the bigger paper in the blues and silvers. So if you've been following along, we finished last week. And then this week, here is the blues and silvers. Thank you so much for doodling with me today, and I hope you feel calmer and more grounded. If you'd like to share your doodle, I'd love to see it on socials, and hopefully I'll see you back here tomorrow for day 10.